egg sandwiches, stuffed beaver, hallucinatory musical numbers, shrunken heads, confetti pumpkins, and a lot of broken limbs. I hope you're ready for the outrageous ride that is Birds of Prey.
Who's having a good time?
Get ready, ladies.
Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage, and after the enormous success of last year's Joker, which also earned the most Oscar nominees and is very likely to win in some of the categories next weekend, Warner Brothers is going back to their DC Extended Universe. The universe of films that began very connected and is now just continuing as it pleases. They had a very rough start and some major disappointments, but when they don't try to rush a cinematic universe but instead just deliver some good movies, they are slowly coming around to a pretty decent track record. The newest film, simply titled Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, was written by Christina Hodson, who also wrote a quite good Bumblebee, and directed by Cathy Yan, who only did one feature film before, the 2018 comedy drama Dead Pigs, which unfortunately I haven't seen, but I heard it's a pretty weird and oddball kind of movie. And weird and oddball are certainly not the worst attributes to apply to a Harley Quinn film as well. The absolute star of the film is of course Margot Robbie. What a star that woman is. She was also the leading force in producing the film in the first place. This is her vehicle, and to make it quick, Birds of Prey is a very entertaining wild ride. It's a brutal, funny, street-level kind of anti-hero action romp that's not too keen to tell the biggest or most sophisticated story, but to deliver a fun and stylish good time. The entire film is narrated by Harley Quinn herself, which is an often used method in many superhero movies, especially those that tend to be on the funnier or more ironic, self-referential, sarcastic side of things. And it's also something that often stems directly from the source material itself. Birds of Prey's presentation is very much in the vein of movies like Deadpool or Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, by constantly and sometimes very directly involving the audience into the narration. Quinn tells her story to us, emphasizes that she makes mistakes while telling that story, and she's even directly looking into the camera at one point. And we also jump around a bit in time, because not everything is told in chronological order. To be honest, I thought they could have done even more with that, because it's basically just one major jump, and the other times it's more like small flashbacks to establish a character's origin story. Birds of Prey very much feels like a typical comic book, like a new story series of an already known character. At the beginning we are reintroduced to Harley Quinn, we learn the most crucial parts about her character and also that she and the Joker broke up. This makes her take a little spin, makes her learn to become her very own thing. After all, she did start as a sidekick to a villain. But now not even a villain can get his very own film, but also the sidekick to that villain. In the first act we are also introduced to all the other important characters, and it's only then that you get a grip on what's going to be the main story, which boils down to an evil crime lord putting a target on a young girl named Cass, because she has something that belongs to him. What that is more of a MacGuffin than really something to care about too much, and like I said at the beginning, the actual story of Birds of Prey is nothing that special or interesting. It might even come across as a bit convoluted at times. It's more like a reason to craft a fast and fun film around it. And fast and fun it is. With a title like Birds of Prey, there are of course more players than just Harley Quinn. We get Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress, Journey Smollett-Bell as Black Canary, Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya, and aforementioned Cass, played by Ella J. Basco. So basically an all-female group of very tough girls and women from all different ages and social and ethnic backgrounds. Each one is presented with a good mixture of badassery, some nice quirks and some good-hearted touches as well. Though I wouldn't go as far as saying that these characters are super fleshed out or that complex. Their problems and unfortunately also their relationships to each other are staying rather surface level, But maybe it's not a right movie to go much deeper. We only learn one or two major things about each one of them. Cass is living with fighting foster parents and steals all the time. Renee Montoya is a good police detective who doesn't get the recognition she deserves. Black Canary has a godlike voice and also a good heart. Huntress is good with a crossbow, a bit awkward and is also out for revenge. And Harley Quinn is all messed up, but maybe not as bad as everybody thinks. At times, Birds of Prey reminded me a little bit of Kill Bill, with its variety of powerful women, the high emphasis on fun violence, the use of songs, the back and forth in time, and how it shows the little backstories of most of them. For example, the massacre of Huntress's family. There's even a nice little animated sequence in the film. And the movie was actually produced under the working title Fox Force 5, which was the name of the fictional television show Uma Thurman talks about in Pulp Fiction. It's often said that a film is only as good as its villain, and fortunately Ewan McGregor's commitment to the role of Roman Sionis, aka Black Mask, and the fun he is having are really contagious. He and his henchman and potential lover Victor Zage, played by Chris Messina, are equally fun as they are threatening. It's the right amount of eccentricity and ruthlessness. They don't do anything you have never seen before, but the performances elevate the material. I also like that the film never tries to turn our anti-heroes into full-fledged good guys. Birds of Prey is a very violent film and it's often on the edge of becoming almost mean-spirited, I guess. It's dirty and at the same time glossy and colorful. You get blood and you get many broken bones, but also vibrant costumes and some kitsch. The film is rated R and that completely took me by surprise because I just didn't know before. There are F-bombs galore, especially by Ewan McGregor's character, and always delivered very well. And like I said, there are so many broken limbs. The action in this is quite good, with my absolute highlight being a two-part fighting sequence in a police station. The movie often comes down to a big, fun, brutal brawl. With a budget of under $100 million, this was also the cheapest DCEU movie, but this movie didn't need some exorbitant, larger-than-life action set pieces. What it has are nice choreography and a very stylish presentation that delivers both on the action and the comedy. Apart from one instant, there are also no real superpowers involved, and this time the title characters much better fit their movie story than in Suicide Squad. I wish the stakes would have been a bit higher, and once again, this is a movie where you never really fear for your protagonists. They get thrown around a lot, but apart from some bruises, there isn't much that really hurts them. And on an emotional level, it also never goes that deep either. But for what it is, it's quite good. So in German I'd say, Birds of Prey ist eine wilde, unterhaltsame und überaus brutale Antihelden Comic-Action-Schlägerei. Warner Bros. Und DC scheinen nun einfach zu machen, wonach ihnen ist, und das ist ziemlich gut. I give Birds of Prey 7 out of 10. It's more like 7.1, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about Birds of Prey. You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram and Letterboxd simply at TheJimmyCage. And you can also support this channel now at patreon.com/TheJimmyCage and get some extra content and more ways to participate. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.